Today, I want to talk about OTAs, or online travel agencies. They consolidate and offer bookings for flights, hotels, car rentals, holiday packages, and the big topic today, experiences, the Wild West of booking. There are some powerful players in the game, and with much of the hotels and flights and car rentals already divided up by the big OTAs, many have turned their eyes on the experiences. But can they compete with the small specialists? I'm Doug Lansky, and this is Rethinking Tourism. Let's start with hotels. You're probably familiar with the bigger players in the space, Booking.com and the Booking Holdings Group that own it, and Hotels.com and the Expedia Group that owns that. The way the online travel agent company works is they get about 10 to 30% in commissions. Okay, let me be more specific. That's about 10 to 15% for the major hotel chains like Marriott or Hilton, and 20 to 30% for the independent hotels that don't have the same global brand recognition, loyalty plans, or marketing budgets. Typically, the guest pays the hotel and the hotel pays the OTA the commission. That's called the agency model. But some use a merchant model where the OTA buys rooms wholesale for 20 to 30% less and then sells them at full price. There's also a special category for last-minute bookings where hotels will pay slightly higher commissions to help fill up those empty rooms quickly. And on nearly all OTAs, hotels pay more to get premium listings at the top of the page and to appear in more search results. Here's what the market share breakdown looks like. And then we've got car rentals. Those commissions are considerably lower, like 5 to 7% for the big boys like Hertz, Avis, and Enterprise, and a little more, maybe 7 to 10% commissions for the smaller players. And then we've got the airlines. Now, airlines used to pay about 25 to 30% back in the day when there were actual human travel agents. Travelocity was founded in 1996, followed shortly thereafter by Expedia and Priceline. Those commissions basically dropped to zero in the late 1990s and early 2000s, and OTAs instead charge service fees that are added to the ticket price. So the service fees are about $5 to $30 per booking. Some low-cost airlines or special developing markets might offer 1 to 3% commissions, but the commissions are basically gone. Many OTAs use global distribution systems, or GDS. It's like a layer of tech that gives them access to the airline inventory. Those are companies like Amadeus, Travelport, and Sabre. By the way, being a middleman for the middlemen is also a lucrative business. Amadeus has a market cap of $30 billion, Travelport $2 billion, Sabre is $1.3 billion. And then you've got the add-ons like travel insurance, transfers, and upgrades. That makes up about 10 to 30% of the OTA revenue. And that all brings us to perhaps the most interesting and rapidly growing segment of the market, experiences and attractions. This includes everything from museum and attraction tickets to concert tickets and kayak tours, guided fishing trips to special yoga classes to even eating a meal with locals in their own home. The biggest players in this space are Viator, Berlin-based Get Your Guide, Hong Kong-based Klook, and Airbnb. Why is this part of the OTA market so interesting? Well, while there are about 5,000 airlines globally, there are about 75,000 museums, 1,000 theme parks, uncountable private tours, with hundreds or even thousands popping up every week. Arival just came out with their third annual report on OTAs, 150 of them, and there are so many they managed to group them into categories. You've got the outdoor adventures OTAs, the food and drink OTAs, the special offers and discounts OTAs, the OTA ticketings for smaller concerts and culture events, the family experience OTAs, the gift voucher OTAs, the local guided tour OTAs, theme park OTAs, and the experiential experiences and full service OTAs. And that's not even all of them. You've also got tech platforms that provide APIs and marketplaces to help give experiences and attractions even more exposure. I caught up with Douglas Quinby and asked where he thinks this segment of the industry is headed. Will it get gobbled up and consolidated by the big fish, or will there be more market segmentation?
In the industry, there's still half of all companies, or nearly half, are not even using a booking system. I mean, so just imagine that for a second. Like imagine if half of all hotels were not using a PMS. So, the expectation, if you look at other sectors of travel or other industries, is naturally towards consolidation. But, in our industry, in experiences, they're just, there are different factors at play. So, for example, and so there is one OTA platform called Captain Experiences. They're focused on fishing experiences and hunting, but for fishing they have a filter by species. So if you want to do a certain type of fishing, so here's another great one. It's a company called The Batch, and it's an online platform for organizing bachelor and bachelorette parties. They now have expanded into birthday parties. A lot of the content that they have, there's a lot of overlap with other OTAs like Viator, but the use case is very specific.
How else might this play out? Perhaps a city or country could consolidate their own activities and then drive a harder bargain with the biggest OTAs to bring down the commissions. But that's provided they can get all their stakeholders on board, and those stakeholders don't already have contracts that they need to honor. Airbnb is an interesting one to watch in this space. The experience segment of their business went bananas the moment they launched it in 2016. Within 4 years, they had 40,000 experiences in 1,000 cities. According to Airbnb, the average annual experience income was $2,500 back in 2019, but some top performers were making upwards of $300,000 offering experiences. Airbnb takes a 20% commission on the experiences they offer, but they also make it easy for their hosts to start offering unique experiences, tours and bar hopping and guided shopping that may not exist elsewhere. They're good at taking people who rent out their homes and turning them into local amateur guides. But maybe not good enough. This summer, Airbnb did a little quality control cleanup and gave 5,000 experiences the axe, while it also paused new experience submissions. This may have upped quality, but it also sent many disappointed experience providers out into the OTA world to offer their skills elsewhere. At the same time, Airbnb made an interesting move toward more upscale and Instagram-worthy stuff with the introduction of their Icons program. Instead of a few bucks on Cameo, celebrities can now offer real-life experiences to hang out with them. On a few select nights, 30 lucky people got to hang out at Kevin Hart's place with some food and drinks for $76 each. In New Mexico, there was an offer to spend the night in a replica of Pixar's Up House, but only when it was on the ground. When it's lifted up by a crane, you could only watch from below. One final thought. If OTAs can make money offering car rentals for a 10% commission, seems like there would be space for an OTA to offer experiences for a 10% commission. But no one wants to kill a good cash cow. So for the foreseeable future, as experiences continue to develop and offer travelers unique ways to see and experience a destination, it looks like this wild west of OTAs will continue. And if you're an attraction experience or even a hotel, probably the best thing is to be seen on as many of these relevant OTAs as possible. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel to get commentary on all the latest travel news.